Yak Gadget, made in America, based outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Yak Gadget offers all kinds of storage accessories, quick mount motor mounts, anchor systems, track mounted accessories, even paddles. Go to yakgadget.com and get your kayak decked out for your next trip out on the water.
The 153 Bait Company, based in Troy, Ohio, make everything from plastics to custom painted hard baits. Hook 'em hard and hook 'em often. All of our baits are made to order and all of our hard baits are hand painted to order. So go to the153anglers.com to place your order today.
This segment is brought to you by Jig Masters. Step up your game with high-quality performance jigs, spinner baits, buzz baits, and more from jigmasters.com. And always, when in doubt, get the jig out.
You're listening to Bass Fishing for Noobs on the Paddle and Fin podcast with your hosts Ryan Milford and Sean Lavery.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bass Fishing for Noobs. I am your host, Sean Lavery, and my co-host, Ryan, is still busy working this week, so he's unable to join us, so I'm going to be flying solo again this week. But thanks for sticking with me, and tonight I'd like to welcome our special guest, Aliex Folgueira. Is that how you say that? Close enough?
Aliex, yeah, it's fine. I mean, when people, hey,
no, tell me. I want to know because I want to do it right.
Aliex, like Aliex, or Aliex, or whatever. But people have a lot of trouble saying my name, so I just say, hey, call me Aliex. So that's fine. So
cool.
Not a big deal.
Some of you who listened to us for to Paddle and Fin for a long time might remember Aliex being on the show before. He was on the OG show with Brian, and you might have seen him on YouTube before as well. But for those of our listeners who aren't familiar with you, can you tell the folks a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and maybe how you got into fishing and kayaks?
All right, so my name is Aliex. I live in Miami. I'm Cuban, so I wasn't born here. I was born in Cuba. I came here 21 years ago. Oh my God. And, yeah, I'm getting old. Look, no hair.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man.
There you go. The no hair club, bro. Yeah, that's what it is.
That is beautiful.
We're gonna live longer. That's what it means, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Ever since I was little, I was fishing. I mean, over there we didn't have anything, just like a piece of fishing line and a homemade hook, but it's still. And then we came here, and my first experiences of fishing was on my stepdad boat, and every time we went out, it broke. So I don't know if that created like a horrible day in my mind. I don't know what happened, but I didn't fish until like 13 years later, when I brought my dad from Cuba, and there were a lot of people in the house, and I needed something to get out. Like I needed to get out. And I remember, fishing is nice. It's relaxing. Just go do that. So I started fishing again. And then I remember that I bought a cheap, I think it was $25 rod and reel. And I was casting. And I wanted to hit this point. And I couldn't get there. I upgraded my gear, got bigger rods, better rods, and still couldn't get it there. I go, dude, you always wanted a kayak, right? Just get one. So I couldn't afford the fancy ones, right? I couldn't afford at the time, the Wilderness System Ride 135, I think was the go-to. Like that was the kayak that you needed to get. And I just couldn't pay $1,300 for it. But I bought a Lifetime Sport Fisher tandem kayak with the idea that I was going to take my family with me fishing all the time. We only went together like 2 times. And then I started doing that, and I always wanted to make YouTube. Like YouTube has always been in my mind. I always wanted, even from 2009, like, can you imagine if I did YouTube in 2009? I would have like 2 million subscribers right now. But anyways, I never did it, right? I never took the action to it. But in 2016, I started putting videos online, and I started fishing, doing just fishing videos. Nobody saw them. I was doing tech videos. Nobody saw them. One day, I flipped a kayak on my little pool and just started getting a lot of views. Like, again, it wasn't a lot of views, but for me, it was like millions of views, like hundreds of views. back then, it's like me getting hundreds of thousands of views right now. Like I'm saying, like in 2016, when I got 100 views on that video, I thought that would be today me getting 100,000 views in a day. That was that big.
A huge thing, right.
And then I started making more videos about kayaks and stuff like that. And it grew from there. And now we're here. So what I do now is, what I try to do, and COVID messed up everything, of course, including my videos. I will get 1 or 2 kayaks a month, and I will like put them through their paces. I will take it on the water, calm water, do a on the water demo. I will flip it, then I will take in rougher water, maybe put it through a surf, put a motor on it. Like I will do 5 to 10 videos about the same kayak. But then, I mean, last year, it's really incredibly hard to get a kayak, so I didn't get that many. So for a long time, I was just like fishing, doing fishing videos, and doing walkthrough videos or whatever I could get my hands on. And that's mainly what I'm doing right now. I also, from day one, I've done big boats, little boats, fishing from the bank, fishing for bass, for everything. I've done everything. So, but the thing is that people see one video, like I flip a kayak, and I think that's all I do. If I make a different video, they go, "What are you doing? What are you doing a big boat?" Dude, I mean, look through the channel. There was a video that like 3 years ago that I did, or 2 months ago, you know. So it's been quite a ride. And right now, I don't even know, because I mean, you hear the rumors online already that kayaks are gonna get more expensive, and the supply is still not there. So I don't know when I'm gonna get like new kayaks like I did in 2019, 2018 to make all the videos. So what I'm doing is just working with what I have, and also I'm working with little boats, and I'm gonna do the big boats. But yeah, that's that. Did I answer your question? I don't know. I just went all over the place. I think I have 80, whatever. I have problems.
Hey, the first step is admitting you have a problem, right? No, seriously though.
Guys, it's not a beer. It's just maybe there's something in there.
Hey, you know, if it is, so be it. But I was curious, like, how many of the kayaks do you actually buy, or do you just, how do you get them to try? Is it the companies actually send them to you, or
from 2016 till like 2019, end of 2000? Well, let me go back. 2018, yeah, to the end of 2018. That's 2 years that I bought every single kayak. I paid $3,000 for a Titan, native watercraft Titan, that I sold for $2,000. I paid $3,000 for a Dorado that I sold for $2,000. You see the pattern there? I paid $3,000 for my Hobie Outback. I sold it for $2,000. That alone is $3,000 in loss, right?
Right.
Because those videos, I was one day I sat down and I calculated how much the Hobie Outback paid me back in the videos. It was $900. Okay, so I lost money there.
Still not breaking even, right?
Exactly, and that is not counting the cameras, the time, the money that it takes to do all these things. So, but as you grow and people start liking your videos, and by people I mean the right people, you start making relationships, and they want you to review their products. They want your honest feedback. You know, they want to hear from somebody who is not on their like guidance, or someone that is there on their prop staff, right? They want to hear somebody else's opinion. And started sending me kayak. Old Town, I thought was special. You know, Old Town sent me a kayak. I couldn't believe the email. I reread it like 100 times. I still couldn't understand the email. I sent it to my friend, and he goes, "Dude, you're getting a free kayak." I go, "What? What? That's what he said? That you getting a free kayak?" I didn't understand it. The first time I got that email was like, "This is unbelievable." I think this is December 2018.
Okay.
And then early January, I got the first kayak. But I thought that was the first ever quote unquote free kayak that I got. But I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that was then. And now, like, I guess people saw the value, other companies saw the value in like sending a kayak to a small YouTuber that have a energized audience, and it's like free advertising for them. And the YouTuber is gonna put the kayak through. It's gonna work for them basically. So I guess I started making more relationships, ICAS, places like that, and more companies started sending more kayaks to me. But like right now, it's incredibly difficult to get a kayak.
Right.
I've been promised 4 or 5 kayaks, and I don't even know if I'm gonna see them. I did get one recently, the Shearwater.
Yep.
1 year later, but I'm happy that it happened the way that it happened because George came down and we did an amazing video right in my backyard. I sort of let him tell his story about how the kayak came to be, and it's 40 minutes, but it's a really nice video, and you get to see why that kayak is the way it is and why it was designed that way. So pretty cool. So I guess it's worth waiting a year to get it. Finally did. But like, I mean, seriously, if I sent an email or talk to somebody in any company right now, say, hey, can you send one of those kayak over? I'll make 10 videos, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, we're like 5 months behind.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right.
But
it's not necessarily that they don't want to. It's just that they don't have.
It's just that the customer is first. I mean,
right.
If you put an order 3 months ago, right, and still pay money, who am I to get a kayak? You know what I'm going to do for that company? Give them more trouble because more people want to order more, and then they won't be able to satisfy. So it totally makes no sense for them to stay on that kayak unless they're not selling them. But everybody's selling off the kayaks.
Right.
By now, it's very difficult. But let me touch on that. Like, it's not a free kayak. I asked my wife the other day, hey, are this kayak free? And she looked at me like, what? You spend so many hours working on that. No, it's not free.
Right.
No, it's not. Like, the work that I had, I mean, I've been trying to do a biscuit video for the last 2 weeks. I haven't been able to. Bad weather, something breaks. Oh, I got there too late. Low tide, battery discharge, remote control that I forgot. Oh, it's so I still haven't been able to make the video, and that's just a little motor that I'm putting on an inflatable paddleboard.
Right.
It's taking like 2 weeks to do.
Well, and then you take the time that it takes to edit the video and, get it exactly, at least somewhat, good quality so you can put it on YouTube. And there's a lot of time invested. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely whatever you're right.
Camera gear. I think I already spent, I don't know how much money, but I think I own over the years, I own over 10 GoPros or more. No, I own 3 now. I don't know. I bought a lot of them. I just upgraded my camera gear, which I still don't know how to use properly. That was like $12,000. Okay.
Wow.
I went crazy. I think I lost it. $12,000. And people ask, hey, what do you do with the kayaks, right? What do you do after you finish your reviews or whatever? Well, I sell them so I could buy the freaking GoPros so I could make the videos, right?
I was going to say, if you didn't, your wife probably wouldn't let you back in the house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, YouTube pays you a little bit of money. You can make some money through affiliates, but it's still not enough. You still have, I mean, who's going to do all this work for free? Nobody. Right. Nobody. It's work. And you need money to make it happen. Last Saturday, we went out fishing in the Everglades. I lost a GoPro battery, that's $10. I lost a walkie-talkie, my friend's walkie-talkie. I lost it. I had to replace that. That's $50. That's total $60 that I lost, not counting all the bait that I used, all the stuff. Now I had to spend $60 to replace all that, right? And that video is probably gonna make us a penny. And that's just one video. Right. Now you get videos that you just sit down like this and it goes crazy and it pays for the rest, but you don't know that.
Right. Yeah. We were talking a little bit beforehand about, I've talked to enough YouTubers before. I don't have a lot of experience myself with YouTube, but I've heard it enough times that videos you think are going to be amazing and just crush it end up kind of being the duds, and something you think, this is never gonna, do anything, end up being amazing and getting the most hits and the most views. It's really kind of unpredictable, right?
It's super unpredictable. And the sad part is this: you have a video, it blows up, I don't know, 800,000 views. You make the same video, way better editing, better imaging, everything is better. Nobody sees it. And the old video, the original video, that horrible wind, horrible editing, everything is horrible, still getting views.
You just can't find the secret sauce, right?
There's no secret sauce. The secret sauce is whatever the robot wants to put in front of people. Now, of course, if you're a beautiful person, like, and you have that charisma and whatever comes out of your mouth, you make people laugh, of course you get millions of views. Like, come on. You know, but how many people like that are out there? Not many. I'm not one of those.
I don't know about that. I would disagree with you a little bit there. I think you have some charisma.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I guess sometimes I have my moments.
I think if you're kayak shopping, and I don't know how many times before I bought my Outback that I watched about 1 million videos on YouTube, and some of the best YouTubes I thought of yours were the ones where you actually do a side-by-side comparison between one kayak and another. And I think if you're someone who's shopping for that particular kayak, those kind of videos are kind of worth their weight in gold, because before you even get to put your hands on the kayak, you can kind of see and hear what is good, what is bad. Obviously it's opinion, and but and what is bad for one person might not be bad for another person, but you can get a general idea, and you could think, hey, I do kind of like that, or okay, that's a good point. That might not work the way I thought it was going to for me. And you've done so many different comparisons like that. I think even like the speed tests on the water, all those different things. I think for somebody looking to purchase a kayak, I think those kind of videos are invaluable, like I said. So
yeah, all those videos, they have a point. Like the speed test, I get comments, oh, that's so stupid, what are you racing kayaks? All right, bro, you're 3 miles out, start raining like crazy. You gotta know if this guy is gonna take you home safely, so you gotta have an idea. Because if you're fishing, you just relax, you go into 3 miles an hour. But if you have to take that thing up, like I saw one video one time from Blanchard, I keep forgetting his name. It was on the Titan 13, and it was cavitating, and there was a lot of waves and stuff coming up. Like somebody had to basically pull him over on a Hobie PA. They had to tow him. That's why I do the speed videos and stuff like that, and also through rough conditions. We put the Titan through the surf. That was incredible. But like, I do those things so right? Flipping the kayaks. You may be an expert. I may be an expert, but there's millions of people getting on kayaks every day that don't know anything about kayaks. They flip, they freak out. Yet, if they saw one of my videos, they will see me just having fun and relaxing. That's all they need. Just, they relax. Okay, let me flip it over. Let me get on it. That's it. Save the day. I got 2 different comments over the years of people telling me that I saved their life because they saw one of my videos.
We've talked a lot about that's one of the first things you should do once you get a kayak is actually flip it and make sure you can get back in. Yeah, recover. Right. The classes I've taken, they teach you that, and it's not with any kayak. It's not a question of if you're going to flip it most of the time. It's going to be when are you going to flip it, and you want to be ready for that. Now I live up in PA. Our water temperatures are 40 degrees right now, so you better believe that I've practiced flipping my kayak and getting back in it, because I want to know in an emergency if I can do it. I mean, heck, who was the Dusty Yacker, I think, was just the one YouTube guy, or the kayak pro who just flipped in a tournament, and he was an expert. So if it can happen to those guys, for sure it can happen to you. And
you just need the perfect wave and the perfect angle.
Right.
And I think you're going under. Yeah.
Right. And so you better be ready. I remember the very first time I did it on a kayak that I was going to. I went out purposely, unloaded, kayak empty, and I said, I'm going to paddle up the river. When I come back down, get near my truck, I'm going to flip and get back in just so I can practice it. Well, I ended up flipping a little bit earlier, and I did have an instant of panic, when I first did it. And I scrambled. I ended up climbing back up on top and flipping over the other side and rolled my kayak the other way because I was just so panicked. And then as soon as I hit the water the second time, I was like, okay, You're wearing your PFD.
You were like,
calm down. I was like, well, first I looked around to see if anybody saw it, you know. But no, I calmed down. I, you know, righted it and hopped right back in, and I was fine. So again, it was a lot warmer than it was right now, but definitely it's something you want to practice for sure. And you know, heck, you walk all over them. Sometimes I think your balance is way better than mine. I don't know that I could do that, stand on the very tippy front of them, but
it's becoming a problem because I could stand on them so easy that it may feel super stable to me, but in reality it's not. So maybe it's a good thing that I haven't flipped one in a while, so I'm sort of like rusty. I just got a new paddleboard and I tried to stand up on it and it felt very tippy, but I think it was because I didn't inflate it properly, because the second time that I did take it out, it was fine.
Okay.
But it still is it's like second nature. On the Shearwater 125 on the perch, I stood up, moving water, and it felt like I was standing on solid ground. I think a new person would do that and they would be like nervous and moving around, and that's when you flip. So maybe just I'm too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna flip it soon, hopefully, as soon as we get good weather. There goes one of the gases. Told you.
See, it really is Diet Coke. I told you.
Yeah, it's Diet Coke. It's, you know, the bubbly thingy.
No worries.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most stable kayak that you've videoed?
All right. So, the Slayer Max, I flipped that thing. I go, oh my God, this thing is so freaking stable. It's the best thing ever. And then I went home and started editing, and I realized that there was water inside. Okay. So that made it ultra stable because it was full of water. So not full, but it had water. Then I adjusted my things. You know, my let's say I give it a 10 at the time. I lower it down to like a 9. Now on top of that, I think the Big Fish 10A, which is a tank. I love that kayak because it's huge. It's like, I'm here. Look at me. I'm huge and I'm good looking. Whatever. So that thing is really difficult to flip. I even had it like on the surf, big wave hitting me. I was sideways and they couldn't flip me. I did flip one because I wasn't paying attention, and I mean I was on high and just turned me over. But like after that, I just put myself like this and the wave was hitting the boat. Any other kayak, it would have flipped. I was there like nothing was going on. So I would say that's number one. Number two, one of the autopilots 136, 137, those are super difficult to flip. I haven't tried to flip one because they have electronics inside and I want to destroy them. Right. I may do it in freshwater one day. I'm not sure. I think it's already too old to do that flipping video. I don't think it's gonna get views. I may just do it for knowledge.
And that's not even that wide of a boat, is it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, it is?
37
okay.
is wide.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so that's pretty wide.
And it weighs like 100,000 pounds. So, you know, that extra weight and being so wide and having those channels, there's no way you're going to flip that boat. Unless you're 400 pounds and you stand on, you know, whatever. Everything is relative. But it's very difficult to flip. Like, I had that thing in open ocean. Humongous swells and nothing. I had in 25 miles an hour winds and crazy moving waters and the wave hitting me and nothing. So it's very, very ultra stable. Like my wife, she was on that boat in the Keys at 25 miles an hour winds, and standing up with the wave moving. I had to tell her, sit down. She felt safe, and she's very concerned about things, and she felt safe on that boat. So that thing is super stable. Now the new one that I have here, the Vibe Shearwater 125. So far it feels very stable, but I had to flip it. I will flip it, and then I'll report back. Now the Titan 13.5, that thing is super stable. One thing with the Hobies 360, the Hobie PAs 12 and 14, you may think that those boats are stable, but look at the hull. They're not as stable as one of those hulls that have the big channels. The boats that have the big channels like the Titan or the Old Town autopilots, they're not as stable. I mean, there's like, if you go to YouTube right now, search PA flip. I bet you're gonna find a bunch of videos of PA 14 and 12 that they have flip on. So they're not ultra stable. Yeah, so I guess number one, the Big Fish 108, and then after that, the Old Town's autopilots. They may be number one, but I haven't personally flipped them, so I wouldn't know. I mean, at what point doesn't matter, right? Like you're Outback. If you're under 250 pounds, the thing is ultra stable. You can stand up. You're not gonna flip on that unless a wave hit you or a big fish takes you under. I don't know. But like at what point it doesn't, like it, whatever, it's the same.
Right. I haven't really come close to flipping it, even in pretty choppy water. So people ask me all the time, is it stable? I'm like, for me, yes, it is stable. I weigh 165 pounds and, I'm not that big of a guy.
You see people on a 28-inch white kayak.
Well, my first kayak was a Wilderness Systems Tarpon 100, and that's the one I flipped. I went there from, my next one was a Jackson Coosa HT. I really couldn't flip it.
You went from like very tippy boat to solid land.
Yep. And then when I got in the Outback, it was the same kind of thing. I mean, I always tell people I'd have to be acting pretty stupid to flip that. Now, that's not to say, the right combination of waves and wind won't get
you're
me.
casting, you're turning a little to the left, and then the wave over here just you're going on it.
Right. So, I've prepared for that. I have, certain things rigged on my kayak so that if I do flip, I don't lose everything, so I'm prepared, but eventually it will happen. And, I'll go from there, but
we haven't talked about today's topic, which is newbies getting into kayak fishing.
Right. If you are a noob, what should you be looking for when you're looking for a kayak? I know the very first rule I should say is go test paddle it. Do not just look at the pictures, experience it for yourself, because the picture is not going to let you know how it works for you.
Or even a video. I mean, and there's so many options. Look, I think it starts with number one, budget. You gotta know how much you're gonna spend. Okay, if you're gonna spend $1,000, forget the pedal drive kayaks. Unless they're used, forget them. So you have to look at a paddle kayak. Maybe you want to look at something that maybe you could later upgrade to a pedal drive kayak, like a New Canoe Flint. They hate me, by the way.
We got a lot of new canoe guys on our podcast, so
Yeah, like the Flint, you could put a drive on that later. It's only $1,000, right? Even the Shearwater 125 is $1,400, but you could put the drive later. More money than $1,000. So the first thing is that your budget. If you have less than $1,000 paddle only, if you have more than, let's say, $2,000 on or below, you could start looking at the pedal drive. And if you have more than, let's say, $3,000 and under, you're looking at a premium pedal drive kayak. If you have more than that, then you're looking at the Hobie 360s and the autopilots from Old Town. So that's pretty much where you are. The other thing I would say is, look, right now, pretty much every kayak manufacturer have a kayak that is going to work for you. So you got to look at what talks to you, what sort of design talks to you. Like if you want to have something that says, oh my God, look at this, I'm here. Unique design, the Feel Free family, they have crazy design. They're bulky, they're heavier, they get people's attention. If you want to be like just another member of the pack, of the Hobie pack, if you want to say, oh, look at this, how do I put this? Like if you want to be with a style, right? Like if you want to go with a brand that everybody knows, then get a Hobie can, right? Old Town, it's different in the sense that they have really high quality products at lower price than let's say Hobie, but they are also a big brand, and they have the instant reverse with the PDL drive and all the stuff. And Native Watercraft is sort of the same thing, but like I don't know, Native feel like they're not the cool guys. They're like the guy on the back of the room. I don't know.
Hey, we're back here.
Yeah, we do good things too, but nobody cares about us. Won't start sending YouTubers kayaks. I mean, I'm not saying send me one. I'm saying like do what Old Town did, and then
Right.
But right now they cannot make enough. Right? They're selling off.
Right.
So okay, so the second thing is like, look, what sort of vibe or what looks do you like, right? And the third thing is look at yourself. I mean, if you're 300 pounds, don't get on a tiny Hobie Outback. I mean, you could, but don't. Please don't. Go look at the PA 14 or 12 or the autopilots or even the Big Fish 108 or the Shearwater 125. That one works too. If you're 300, no, actually no. You know what? The Shearwater, no, that's 450-pound max. Even though it's probably more stable on the Outback, I don't. Yeah, go for something bigger. Go for something big. Now, if you're under 200 pounds, like yourself, hey, you can get whatever you want.
Right. My options are not quite as limited as some of the bigger gentlemen, and ladies, but yeah, that does make it nice. So
yeah. And the other thing is, look at where you're gonna store that boat. Maybe you only have 12 feet of space. A 12-foot kayak will not work for you. You could just get a 10-footer that will work for you. And the other thing is like, see how you want to move that boat. Like, do you just want a paddle-only kayak? I mean, paddle-only kayak, or and you're gonna add a motor to it because that's gonna save you money. Like, if that's what you want, a tiny kayak with a motor, so you could go hands-free. Why spend extra $1,000 on a PDL system, right?
Right.
Look at the waters that you fish. If you're always on shallow water and it doesn't take you long to get to that spot, why waste money on motors or pedal drive kayaks?
Right.
Now,
and
if you go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're an angler and you're looking to get into tournaments, make sure you look at the rules for the tournaments around you, because a lot of places don't allow motors. So, don't go waste your money on a motor kayak.
But I think everybody should get a motorized kayak on purpose so this tournament stop being stupid. Like, I don't care who the hell you are. If you run a tournament and you say no to motors, you're being stupid. There you go. Put that out there. I don't care.
Hey,
it's just ridiculous. Like, come on, you have somebody with a Hobie 360, right? That is what, a $5,000 kayak that has all the advantages in the world, and you're not gonna allow the poor guy that could only have a $500 kayak and a $300 trolling motor? Because what is the advantage there? You get somebody with a LifeScope Garmin $5,000 unit on a pedal drive kayak, and that's gonna be not an advantage over the guy with a little motor. Like, shut up. I'm serious. Just stupid. It's just stupid.
It can be frustrating for sure.
No, it is frustrating because, I mean, and they talk about, because it's human power. Human power what? There's a lot of people out there that have back problems and they need a motor. There's a lot of people there that just want to fish. Look, the motor is not going to win the tournament for them, but it may level things up.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Those Hobie 360 with all those 10,000 rods, you get hands-free fishing all the time. No, dude, no. It's just ridiculous.
Luckily for me, like the places around me, they do allow for if you are in some way disabled or have a disability, like you have a bad back or you're, for whatever reason, they do allow motors.
I don't want to have a paddle in my hands. I want to fish. I want to have my hands free for fishing. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, look, it's 2021. Stop it. Plus, you tournament manager, you like the sponsor money. The motor company have more money than any lure company. Come on, stop being stupid. Yeah, whatever. How many people offended? Maybe 5. I don't care. Whatever.
Hey, it's all right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I think again, that is one reason why that is what adds to your persona. That I don't think you're shy about sharing your opinion. I did want to ask you, have you seen any kayak manufacturer make changes based on your recommendations? Because I know in your videos you're like, oh, why did you do this? You should fix this. Do you know of any that have actually taken your words to heart and said, oh, look, Alex said this is not right. We should probably fix this.
Well, I think that Hobie Outback that Hobie Outback that you have, when they came up with that, I thought that they went through my videos about the Hobie Compass and made that boat. Like, I think that's what they did. I could be wrong. I did get a letter, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, but Not, I mean, of course, they're not gonna say, "Hey, we did exactly what you asked," but they said that we value your opinion. Whatever.
Okay. Well, I that is one of the things I love about my Outback. I feel like it's laid out perfectly. Like everything is where I would put it if I.
Bro, it's perfect.
The only thing, my only complaint about my Outback is the no instant reverse, and I know that's
Yes.
part of the drive. But if I could have that, I think the Outback would be the perfect kayak.
But you can't because you lose the flipper. So
Right.
I mean, that kayak, it's so well designed that, like you say, you don't have to take a milk crate, and you could take all the rods, you could take all the tackle. It's there. It lives in the boat. Everything has its purpose. Like, it's so incredible. And then you could put a motor, easily put a Torquedo on the back, or a Bisbee, or a power pull if you want, or a dual system. The one thing I didn't do was to put an iPilot unit on the bow. I don't know if you. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know if you could do it easily, but maybe you can. But anyways, that boat has like everything. It has everything that you need, basically.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's underrated too. Everybody talks about the PAs, and I think they're great too. But
why the extra bulkiness? Why? Like, what's the point? Unless you want a 360 drive. But at that point, I would just put a 360 electric drive. But I don't know. But yeah, like, no.
I think it gives the illusion of stability.
But it's not. It's not like we just went over that. It's not that
right.
more stable. Like, big boat doesn't mean it's more stable. Like the Predator PDL is a giant boat, and it's super easy to flip. Super easy to flip, and it gives you that full sense of stability, and then next thing you know, you're on the water because the sea is very high.
Right.
So, like, the Hobie Outback is more stable than that boat, and it's smaller.
Yes. No, I agree.
And we're talking about the Hobie Outback after 2019, because the previous one totally sucks. A piece of shit.
I don't have any experience. Mine was I guess mine is a 2020, but I got it.
A good one with a good kick up fin drive, because the one that I had, and that's why I sold it on time. I had the 2019 drive that it was like the one they only did that drive like one time, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I sold it, and the guy that bought it from me, he won a tournament with it. So I was trying to get him to give me the money.
At least a cut of it, man. Yeah.
No, just kidding. But it broke. The hull of the boat broke. Oh, sure. Maybe I put it through so much. I don't know. Anyway, but guess what happened? Hobie replaced the hull, no questions asked.
I've heard that part of that Hobie does that well. Like, if you have a defect like that they will make it right. So
they made it right. They didn't even ask, "Hey, show me a receipt." None of that. They just, "Hey, here's a new one. They were like, "You're gonna have to wait a month or two because COVID, but we're gonna replace the hull," and they did. So that was cool of them. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say. Yep. Cool. I'm trying to think of other questions.
I think we didn't finish.
Oh yeah. So what else? What else?
And what you said, demo. The problem with demoing is that, first of all, a lot of people don't have access to it. Second of all, if you just go one time and you demo a boat, you may get you may get it wrong, because maybe you don't know what you're doing. Like, if you demo one of the Hobie Outbacks and you want to go in reverse instantly, you don't know what you're doing, so you may get the wrong idea. So if you're gonna demo, go multiple times, test multiple boats. Try to take a rod with you, or if you can't really cast or anything, just take the pole. Get a feel for it. Start visualizing. Oh, I'm gonna set this up this way. I'm gonna take all this stuff. Like, try to use it several times. And Facebook. There's sometimes it's good to be in groups. Sometimes it's really bad. But anyways, I bet you there's someone near your area that will be happy to go with you. And people love to talk about the shit that they own. Okay, if you have a Hobie Outback, you want to show it off. Hey, I paid $3,000 for this. And I bet if somebody's close to you that looking to buy kayaks, you want to bring them to the Hobie family. So you're going to show your boat. So try to find someone like that in your area. And there is probably somebody who has, if not the same kayak, something like it. For example, if you want to Slayer Max, maybe someone has a Predator, right? or a 120 PDL, that you could get a feel for it. Same drive. Go fast drive, go forward, reverse, all that stuff. If you want to demo the hobby boats, maybe someone has a Pelican or a Shearwater or something like that. You could get an idea for what you're looking for, so yeah.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. I ended up driving 3.5 hours to test drive my Hobie, the Outback, before I bought it, because I wanted to, once I kind of narrowed it down to that, I was like, I want to pedal it at least once just to see, make sure. But after I did that, I talked to a bunch of local guys who said, oh, you should have told me. I would have met you down at the lake 15 minutes away and let you pedal mine around. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to reach out and just ask in your local groups and say, oh, anybody, pedaling a Hobie, mind if I meet you down at the water sometime and take it out for a spin? I would do that in a heartbeat with mine. I don't know how many, pretty much every time I fish, somebody always stops me at the ramp and says, oh, hey, mind if I take a peek at your kayak? Oh, that's a really cool setup. I love talking to people about that, but yeah, so definitely reach out to, your local groups and just see, especially I think kayak anglers in particular are, a pretty, good group of people. I haven't met too many that are jerks, so don't be afraid to reach out and ask.
Like reach out. What's the word they can say? No, like
right.
Not gonna do anything to you. Thank you.
But yeah, and you might make a friend and have someone to go fish with too. So you never know.
Yeah, look, kayaking is sort of like a lonely sport, but this only because you're far from the other person on the water. But like if I'm going somewhere that I'm not comfortable with or I don't know the area, I'm taking someone with me. That's why I also keep many kayaks here, because I take people fishing with me. So you may just make a new friend and you go fishing every weekend. So yeah.
Definitely.
And you don't have the pressure from the dealer saying, oh, this is the best thing forget Old Town, get Hobie, because they have the higher commission. No, just buy this one. Yeah, if you go with a friend, they're gonna tell you, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You get a better, a more realistic experience, I would say.
Right, or maybe a less biased opinion. Although
everybody's biased, bro. Like you probably think your Outback is better than it is, but you probably think it's better than many other kayaks because you put your money. Like people don't understand this, and it just bothers me. Like they think that because you see all the reviews, honest, unbiased review, because they pay with their own money. No, dude, that right there means that it's biased already because you bought it. So if it works for you and you put $3,000 of your own money and it works for you, you're gonna say that's the best thing ever because you put your money. Now, if you hate it and you put your hard-earned money, you're gonna say it's the worst thing ever because you put your money. You know what I'm saying? Like right. Your hard-earned money that you got into a fight 10 times with your wife because you bought that boat and now it doesn't work for you, you're gonna go off on that thing, and that's not fair for the product. Right. At the same token, if it works amazingly, you're gonna say, oh my god, this thing is the best thing ever, this is the only kayak that you should buy. And again, that's not fair for the product or the person consuming that review. So there has to be a balance. So just because you bought something with your own money doesn't mean that you're gonna give people an unbiased opinion. It's probably gonna be the worst thing, probably.
Right, and make sure you take that into account. When you see a YouTuber, where are they fishing? Are they fishing open water with waves? Are they fishing a river? Are they fishing the ocean? Yeah. So, just because they say it's the best kayak, it might be the best kayak for exactly what they're using it for, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna, be the same for you. So
that's another point. Look where you fish, and if you like the Hobie Outback and somebody's using it on a river and it works for them, and maybe it doesn't work for you because you are in a shallow area that is full of grass. So although that Outback works pretty much anywhere.
What do you think of the line of get your first kayak or your second kayak first? Do you ever hear that? Meaning don't don't buy the super cheap one that you're going to sell in 6 months. save up your money and buy the second one first.
Who said that you could only have one kayak? Right.
That's a man after my own heart right there.
Get what you can right now. And if you change your mind, you change your mind. How many people you see all the time? They go in, buy an Old Town Autopilot 120, the battery, the everything. They spend $10,000 on it. They're super happy. They post, oh my God, my dream boat next week for sale. And
the nice things about kayaks is you can pretty much get what you put into them for the most part. Some, maybe not like you said, you can get some of it back, but especially right now because kayaks are selling so crazy right now that
the demand, like they don't have it, so people will pay a premium on top of that. But the point is, you bought the best thing out there. Because I think for fishing, if you're serious about fishing and you're fishing open water and not a lot of grass, and you don't go 20 miles out, you see how many things I'm putting? The autopilot is probably the best fishing experience you can have because you don't have to think about anything. It's already made for you, and you have a spot lock, and you have autopilot, which means that you just press a button, it will take you wherever you pointed the motor to go to. It's just an amazing experience. You could, like, it's fishing. That's how the best anglers fish. They go to a spot, they bring down the trolling motor, and they're just fishing with a trolling motor. And that thing is ready for you. All you have to do is get your battery and plug it in, right? Even that boat, I think I lost my train of thought. But anyways, what I'm trying to say, even that boat that is sort of like perfect, may not be perfect for you.
Right. It might not, for a multitude of reasons. The Susquehanna River where I fish, sometimes it's rocky and shallow. So, you could be going through props and stuff like crazy if you
don't want to be paddling that thing.
Right.
That if it gets really shallow. Yeah. So
yeah, definitely keep that in mind. So
yeah, look at the waters where you fish. And if you consume a review from somebody, just ask them, hey, have you used this boat in this situation? How did it work? And the other thing is that anything works anywhere, pretty much. Now, what you have to look at is it easier? I mean, I could paddle the autopilot through a rapid, I think. But is it a nice experience? No.
Is it the best tool for the job? Probably not.
Exactly. I could have it offshore. I mean, I could paddle to land 10 miles out, but if I'm going to do that, I'm better off with a stealth kayak that I could paddle 12 miles an hour. Like, it's not, everything works, but you got to see if it's the right tool for the job. And that goes back to not just having, you don't have to have just one kayak. You can have multiple kayaks. Right. And you could have specific things that you would do with those kayaks. Like, I like to have my paddle only chip kayaks that with nothing, I just want to throw in the bed of the truck and go fishing with one rod. And I have the autopilots that I know that I'm going fishing, seriously. Going fishing is going to be the whole day, right? And the inflatables, too, they're nice to have. Like, it's nice to just, it's like they weigh nothing. And they're easy to use. And you could use it like a kayak or a stand-up on paddleboard. There's so many options out there. You could have all of them.
Right. Wow. As many as you can afford. I'm still looking to.
You could always find deals out there. I remember my first Hobie, I bought it for $800. The Hobie Revolution, and I sold it for like $1,100. I made money on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, if you keep your eyes out, it's probably going to go quick. But if you're looking, you can definitely find bargains out there. I've heard of people who did the same thing. Oh, I bought this Hobie Outback and kayaking's just not for me, so I'm just going to sell it and get it out of the garage. And it's crazy.
And they don't know the market. They don't.
Right.
And also, they may feel guilty about selling you something that is already used. So they're going to, I mean, not everybody's the same. You may find deals out there. Like, I know what I paid for the boat. I know what it's worth. But at the same time, or what I didn't pay for the boat, I'm going to give you a fair price. But that's me, right? Somebody there may want you to pay them more than what they pay for the boat. And you may have the other person who doesn't know anything about it, may sell it for like a quarter of the price. So,
right. Just keep your eyes out. Right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, anything else you think a noob should know about kayak session? I want to again point out, guys, definitely check out Alex's channel. He has so much more besides just stability tests and speed tests and kayak reviews. There's a ton of other content on his YouTube channel, all sorts of things from rigging to, I saw you testing Guggen rods, all sorts of things.
About the Guggen rod. Okay. If I was the head of Cashco, I would have priced those rods $100 more than what they're selling for. Okay. That rod, the gold ones, $150. And I like them better than the St. Croix of the same price. Even more expensive rods. They're super light. I fought a giant stingray on the gold finest rod, and it didn't break. And those things, they suck to the bottom.
Yep. No. I've reeled in stingrays before, and it's crazy. It's like I don't even know, like a log that you're bringing in.
I had to pull the rod and go with my hands like this, pull again, and it didn't break. Those rods are really low price for what they are, and they know it. They know they could have sold it for more money. So it's an incredible product. I have 5 of them. I don't drive any views when I make those videos about mystery tackle boats. Like, nobody wants them from my viewers, so I'm not getting any money from them, and I pay with my own money for those rods. So, but I will buy. I'm actually looking to buy more because I have 4 spinning and 1 bait caster. I want to have more bait casters, but I had to wait until I get more YouTube money because
you can only do so much, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I got a jet angler kayak for free that I pay $1,000 to bring in, and then I had to buy a trailer, $1,500, and then I bought the trolling motor, and I still haven't been able to register it because they haven't sent me the right paperwork, and they're sort of ghosting me. Yeah. So I have pretty much $4,000 in my garage that I can't sell or do anything with. So that was a lot of money, and I had to wait so I could go get more rods, like make more money so I could go get more rods. I mean, the trailer I could sell, the trolling motor I'm using on other stuff, but still, if I sell the trailer, I can't move the boat. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm still going to use it.
I
actually have to use it because if I don't run it, it's going to get destroyed. So if the police comes over to me and say, hey, and you see a video, almost got arrested, you know what?
Hey, it'll make for good content for sure.
Bro, I'm counting on it. I'm gonna go off on them. You know why it's not registered? Because your stupid laws suck. Okay? If you want people to obey the law, make it easy for them to do so. I feel like a criminal for having fun.
Amen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like, can you imagine? Why do you have to register your kayak just because you put a motor that goes 4 miles an hour when the drive goes faster? Like, I don't get it.
Dude, same thing with a ramp sticker here in PA. Yeah, if you use a Pennsylvania Fish and Game approved ramp, you have to have this sticker on your kayak. My brother-in-law built a canoe out of wood, just completely from scratch, and they're like, you have to put this sticker on it. He's like, I'm not putting that sticker on my boat. This is a beautiful boat. And they're like, well, you can't launch from our ramps then.
Can you launch from the side of the ramp?
I've heard different things about that. I've heard one guy in a forum I was reading said, well, I'm a game commission guy, and if I catch you doing that, I'll ticket you, But then I heard another guy said, no, he's wrong. That's not true. So it's tough.
Yeah, some people feel like they're the law, and even though you're doing nothing wrong, they just wanna, like, I don't know, what's the word, the ego, like massage their ego, and they go above and beyond their Call of Duty just to feel like, oh, look at this, I got power. Shut up. Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, there's a ton of other content out on your channel. Anything else you want to plug? Any sponsors or anything?
I got no sponsors.
You got no sponsors.
We could touch on that. Like, a company sending you a product, quote unquote, for free, it's not a sponsorship.
Right.
Still have to make videos on that, and they still have to like what you did, not in that sense that you're gonna tell them, oh my God, you guys are amazing, but like do a good job, you know, really explain everything the way it is, give them honest feedback, and maybe they like it and they'll continue to work with you. But it's not a sponsorship. I don't get checks from any company, so nobody sponsors me. Maybe because I say whatever is on my mind. I don't know. But I haven't really tried to get a sponsor either. I only talk with one company, and they say, oh, we really don't pay people. Where you already are one of our guys without being one. So that, I mean, because, you know, whatever, I have a discount code pretty much.
Right.
But I don't have any, although Red Bull, hey, if you're listening, I would happily accept your sponsorship. And I would have said before, this guys, but they want people to be less of what they are, so no.
Well, you also said potentially you might have some other, you know, some changes coming to maybe some different channels or things on the horizon.
I have a secret YouTube fishing channel that I want to go organically, and it's mainly fishing shorts right now. I wanna put like full blown fishing videos on it. And Instagram, I have my name handle, which I'm gonna turn into like a personal account, and I have other accounts which is gonna be like, one is gonna be fishing, like me holding pictures of fish, and the other one's gonna be whatever kayak stuff I'm doing. So like putting a motor on kayak, doing stuff like that. And for this year, we're definitely gonna go to ICAST. We're gonna go to the what is it, Palm Beach Boat Show thing.
Okay.
Later on March. So we're gonna go there, and we're gonna do a lot of crazy stuff. I already have ideas that I want to put like 5 motors on a kayak. It's fun.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
That right there is my thing. Like, I just love tinkering with things, and I mean, they're not the best designs ever, but sometimes I just like it. It gives me life. Like, a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm mad or just kicking things, and then I get a tool and I start working on the kayaks, and then you could just see the smile. Like, yeah, it's my thing.
Doing what you love. That's right. Well, again, everyone, be sure and check out Alex on YouTube. Any place, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, you can all find you by just searching your name, right? For the most part.
Yeah. You may see AliExpress. I'm gonna sue them. Mine's older. But yeah, like if you search Alias Fishing, you should see this face.
Cool.
Or the old face, which is to be like big.
Well, thanks again for joining me, man. It's been fun. I knew it was going to be entertaining, and you definitely lived up to the billing. So thank you again for coming on. We'll have to have you get on again sometime. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about, how you like to fish and stuff like that. But again, thank you. Thank you again. Go ahead.
It's 8:12, and I have to go work on an edit that I need to finish for tomorrow. That's how free getting YouTube stuff is.
All right. Well, we will wrap this up, guys. Thanks again for listening. This has been the Bass Fishing for Noobs segment on the Paddle and Fin podcast. And be sure to check us out next time. Thanks, guys, and have a good evening.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle_and_fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle_and_fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in Northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. Shout out to Jig Masters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com.